I'm live. Dad, you can join me if you want. All right. Maybe later. Okay. I need to share the stream so that others see it. Where's the share button? There's the share button. There's the copy button. Let's put that in the comments of that one post I did, and then let's put that in the, let's make a new post, and hopefully people see it. Let's see, text post, just for live streamers, boobity boop, Live Town. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I should have, oh, I put a link, but I should have posted it video style, because then it'll show up right there in the Patreon, but then you won't see the chat box. But let's see what we can do. Chat box here. Boing and boing and boom. This is the first time I've only been posting via the blog instead of the message style. Are people going to see it? That's the question we're about to. Two people are here. More than one person is here, unless that's just counting me on a different tab. Someone here? Can you comment in the chat box? I am sitting in my parents' basement where I am live streaming for you for my monthly live stream for patrons, in which I talk while swaying my head back and forth for no reason as I wait for people to show up. And no one is showing up. So that leads me to believe that I need to message through the actual messaging system instead of the blog post on Patreon. So I'm going to do that, even though I find the whole system of messaging through Patreon a bit flawed. Hello, Corey DeRoos. How are you? Are you the only other person here right now? I'm gonna do a little messagey move. I guess you wouldn't know if you're the only other person here right now, would you? It's not, oh, there's another person. So some people are seeing it. That's good. That's good. Four people. Hello. Welcome. I wonder if I should send out a message then to all the patrons. I guess I will. I guess it's just what I have to do, huh? Because I'd rather just be able to post on the page than to have to send, because the way that I select all the people to send the message to, it's not the best. It's not the best system. But here we are. I'm selecting. I said, how are you? 4 people that are here, because I think the 5th person is me. What's new? See any good movies lately? I saw Jojo Rabbit, and I thought it was really good. Oh. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm live streaming.
Hey, with who?
For 4 patrons.
4 patrons.
Yeah, well, I'm messaging more patrons to see if they will join, but you never know, do you?
You just don't know.
You just don't know.
It's hard to know when you don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
you see any good movies lately?
What was it? Is that one? What,
1917?
1917, yeah.
Oh.
That was pretty good.
Was it?
Yep.
I haven't seen it.
Well, then I'm not going to tell you about it.
Oh, I know that it appears like it's all one shot. There's no cuts. Just the camera going. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
That was my dad, everybody. He, yeah, he's my dad. That's about it. Sometimes he sits at a table and yells at my mom, and my mom yells at him, and the whole world laughs with glee about it. It's fun. It's interesting directing them because they're not actors. They've never wanted to be actors. I forced them to because I am a bad son. I'm finally sending a message now to everyone that wants to know that I'm live right now. Sent it. Hails, fellow Madisodian, Lords of the Trident. How are you? Matt Miller, does Patreon have a select by tier option when you send messages, or do you just have to select from a list? It is not great. When you post to the blog, it's just select by tier. When you post email, as far as I can tell, the only way to do it is you go into a sort of spreadsheet that you can select different chunks based on the category, and then it'll tell you if some people's payments were declined or not. So you go in and you check a box and you say select all of the processed patrons for this tier level, and then you do the next tier level, and the next tier level, the next tier level, the next tier level. But here's the kicker. So this is Livestream is a $2 Livestream is a $2 level tier. But some people go to the $1 level but pay more than $1. But they selected the $1 level. And some people didn't select. There's a big list of people that didn't select any tiers. And so I go through individually for those, and just the ones that have paid 2 or more, I select them and message them, because some of them I'm pretty sure didn't know that they had to select a tier. And so I'm letting them know. And then, because I have gotten messages before that people said that they were never notified of a live stream. And I'm like, well, it's because you weren't on the tier. But now I avoid that by just sending them all a message and inviting them into the live stream, whether they selected the tier or not. And that takes some time. When I post to the blog, I don't have that option, but I also don't have to go in and select everything. It's all very complicated, you guys. It's all very complicated. And the messaging system within Patreon is also not great, really, the email system. Patreon's not, it's not known as an email client. It's known as a place to support creators that you love. Sounds like more effort than it should be. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I could just make it clear that from now on, I'm not going to send the messages via email, and also make sure that you have selected your tier that you want to be in. And then that's a good compromise, but I'm a little worried that less people will get the message in time if it's just from a blog post. I don't know how people are notified that way. And because I've been doing it this way for so long, they're used to it. And then if I suddenly change, that's not cool, bro. So I got to let them know. I feel you. Patreon can be a real pain, especially when there are people on your list who've been declined for like 3 or 4 years. Well, yeah, I just once in a while I will select all the declined people and I will send them all a message and just let them know, because I think some people just don't know that their payments aren't going through because they changed cards or something. So, and then that brings a lot of people back, or they're gone forever. But that's fine, I guess. More than happy to support you, but wow, even from my end, it's not overall a great system. As for popular platform as Patreon is, you'd think that they could get it together soon. Yeah, it's got its flaws for sure, but it's also the only place that does what it does. Is there another place that? I mean, there are smaller, there are like creators who have set up their own systems individually. And there are smaller ones, but Patreon is the only place that's like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but on a monthly basis. Right? Is there anywhere else that does it the way that Patreon does? I don't think there is. So yeah, they're flawed for sure. It's got flaws. I mean, I'm friends with the founder, Jack Conte. So don't tell him I said that. I mean, but I understand they're not that big of a company either that runs it. They just have become really massive because it is a great service that didn't exist before. It also could be a lot worse. It's not, it works. I mean, it works pretty well for what it does. It's also got that brand recognition. It does. I'm always a little surprised that people have heard of Patreon because same thing with like Twitter and even YouTube. Like the idea of doing YouTube for a living. I like grew up with it. Like my career grew with these companies, and so to me, it always feels like people. I forget that it's so widespread now that everyone knows what it is. To me, it's all still inside baseball. Like I'll mention Patreon and like, so I have this thing called Patreon. Like, yeah, I know what Patreon is, bro. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forget that people actually know what that is now. Yep, Jack Conte is the creator of Patreon. At the same time that Patreon was created, another website called Subbable was created by the Vlogbrothers, mostly Hank Green, I think. And it was the exact same thing. They both started at the same time. And I don't think they did it on purpose. I think they didn't know the other one was also working on that. And so they both started at the same time. And Patreon just really took off big. Subbable was much more, I think, specifically YouTube based. So I went to Subbable first because I knew Hank much better than I knew Jack. Because Patreon also asked if I wanted to join them, but I'm like, well, I have to make a choice. No, which one? So I went to Subbable. And then eventually Subbable was like, okay, Patreon's doing it a way better way than we are. So they just sold Subbable to Patreon. And then I moved. It shifted me over to Patreon. What are my thoughts on Google Stadia? I don't know. I've never played it, never used it. So I really don't have any thoughts on it. I'm looking at it right now. It all depends on how well it works. I don't know. Has it got a lot of problems? Seems like in theory that is the future of video games, and I think that's why people like Google are doing that. And Apple's got like Apple Arcade, or is that not the same thing? It might, but I feel like that probably is the future. They're just doing it now. Of course, it's not going to be. It's going to be buggy. It's going to be flawed. But if they can get in early and stick with it, they'll be the leaders, I guess. Although, if you look at most successful businesses, it seems like they weren't the first to the game. They're the ones who came later and perfected it. Like there was Friendster, and then there was MySpace, and then there was Facebook, and then Facebook demolished the other ones. Search engines. I don't think Google was the first search engine, were they? YouTube was a very early video streaming service, but there were others at the time. I don't know if they were the first. They might, if someone else started that sort of thing. But anyway, that's my thoughts on general business stuff in the tech world. I think Patreon is fantastic. Patreon is kind of a miracle, and whether or not Patreon itself lasts or if something else comes along, I think this kind of service will exist forever and should exist forever. I think it's fantastic to be able to support creators, support people you like and the things that they make. Like before that, like how would you do it? The only way that you could support them is if they go, like if it's a musician, they would have to tour, they'd have to make an album, they'd have to sell you shirts or something. They have to figure out ways of giving you things. Whereas now there is another option where that you can just support them for their future endeavors before they even give you anything, which I think is amazing because some people need the support before they can make the thing, you know? So yeah, it's fantastic. And what else is going on? Today I am going to start journaling. I'm going to do a video in probably a week. What's the day? What day is it today? A little more than a week. I'm going to have a video out about journaling. So I'm going to start journaling and just see how I feel about it. Because it could be like a month-long video, but it doesn't have to be month-long for me to, I think, figure out what journaling's all about. And it's not really like a challenge video. It's not that hard to write a journal entry every day. At least I don't think so. So like me saying I did a journal entry for a month is not that intriguing. But just saying like, why do people like journaling? Or I started journaling and it made my life better or something. I don't know if it does. I don't know. It's fine. So I think it's in a week. I'm going to have that one up. We're going to start doing it. We started yoga last month, but we stopped because we were sick, and the whole plan was to get up super early and do it, and we didn't. So we're starting that again this month. And then in the middle of the month, I'm going to do the no alcohol video. That video is going to come out. I haven't started editing it. I've got a lot of footage. Wow, if a video is a full month long, that would take forever to watch. It would take you a month to watch, actually. Unless you watch it like fast. If you like double time, it'll take you 15 days. So, smart Alec. You smart Alec. And what else is going on? There's something else going on that I wanted to... Oh, the next video coming out, which should come out today or tomorrow, is up for early release on Patreon right now. Have you seen it? Did you like it? It's one of my favorites, I think. Like I accidentally, it was going to be letting YouTube's algorithm decide, and I was going to sit down and just click on recommended videos and see where it took me. Started doing that, and that turned out to be boring. I made that Wheezy News video about it. So now I did a video about perfectionism, and did it quickly. I wrote it up in a day, shot it. I wrote it up and shot it in the same day, I think. And then started piecing it together, and I'm like, oops, I accidentally made one of my favorite videos. I really, really like it. It's like an old school, it's like what I used to do on Wheezy Waiter when I would do a serious one. I would do like silly nonsense, and then I'd occasionally do a serious one that also had jokes in it. This is like that, where it's just kind of me talking about a sort of, what's the word? Like a cerebral topic about perfectionism, and then just making it interesting as I could. I just feel like I feel good about it because I feel like I really expressed what I wanted to express. Like I feel like I successfully made that happen. Oh, Lords of Trident says the video is perfect. Thank you. Nothing's perfect, Lords of Trident. You didn't listen. You weren't listening. Tashi loves that video. Sam Fogarty, journal every day. I wait until a bunch of stuff happens to me, then I write a big bulk journal. I love that I can look back in time and see what my state of mind was and stuff. Yeah, my hope is, like, I want to journal every day, and just the act of force. I hope for several benefits. The act of forcing myself to do it, maybe getting me in the mode to write if I have to write a video or write other things, like just help me get into the writing mode every day. Another thing is because I will be trying to remember everything I did the day before, if that's what I'm writing about. I'll be thinking about the things that I did, and then that means I will be remembering remembering my life better, which is valuable because life is our memories, and appreciate what's right in front of me, because I'll be more aware of it, because I will be thinking about it, because I'll be writing it, and maybe it will unlock ideas for future projects, or just unlock things about myself that I didn't even know. I don't know. Those are the hopes for the journaling. Matt Miller is going to watch the early release when we get home tonight. Hopefully, I don't know if it'll be early anymore by the time we get home, but I don't know if it's going up today or not. Waiting for an approval from the sponsor But I mean, come on, guys. If you saw it, that sponsor segment was like one of the best sponsor segments, I think, because it's the only part of the video that China is in. And she legitimately didn't know what the product was. And then I showed it to her and she legitimately loved it. And it just comes across as really authentic, which they have to like that. Come on. They have to like that. And that's all that's going on. I just went to a little early young people class. It is going to a little school, a little class every Thursday that we went to this morning. I went for the first time, and it was awesome. Sang some songs, ate a plate with dinosaurs, did a little painting. She's growing up, you guys. She's growing up. Yeah, Matt, you don't have to not watch it if it's not early. I mean, yeah, you can watch it whatever you want. Whatever. I think I need a nap. Ben says, great video. It seems like something you've been processing for many years and you were able to connect it all together in a classic Wheezy fashion. Thank you. I think so too. I also had a lot of fun doing the B-roll. You ever watch Drunk History? That was Drunk History inspired, where I say things and then in the B-roll I mouth those things and react to them, and it's fun. I mean, Drunk History didn't invent that, and I believe I actually did that in some early Wheezy Waiter videos before Drunk History was even a thing. So there. But I have been watching a lot of Drunk History lately. It's pretty good. It's great, actually. I love it. It's a great show. My friend Jake and I, Jakey Poo, we can call him. He hates to be called. We went and saw the movie Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. I never saw Suicide Squad. Everyone says it's terrible. I never saw Batman versus Superman. I did see Justice League. It was fine. I had really no interest in seeing this movie, but we wanted to go to a movie. It was really the only thing playing at the theater we wanted to go to that was, not the worst. And it was all right. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. Zany. She's like the female Joker, Harley Quinn. And like there are parts of it, like Ewan McGregor, hilarious. And also I would describe his accent in that movie as like, it's like he's trying to do either a bad American accent or a bad British accent at all times. And he's hilarious. There are some really hilarious and amazing moments. Some action is really good, but the plot of the whole thing, it's a mess. It's like I watch it and I'm like, I would have organized that a little differently. Heavy reliance on narration, which generally I don't like. Sometimes narration can work well, but often it's not. It's too much. Like, why you got to be narrating this all the time? Why don't you just let a scene happen? I want to see. I want to experience it. I want to be there. You know what I mean? We've also been watching Better Call Saul. Best show making new episodes currently on television. Better Call Saul. I feel like it's not getting the attention it deserves. Probably because it's slow sometimes and subtle, but at other times crazy and insane, just like Breaking Bad used to be. Best cinematography on television. Best writing. Best acting. Everything's good. Everything is good with that show. Like I never feel like I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense, which I do often when I watch a lot of other things, or I'm left wondering, that doesn't make sense. And then someone, if ever this happens, if I'm watching a show or a movie or something, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense, and someone explains it to me later, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Even then, I'm like, well, you didn't do your job, creators. I should have been able to understand that better. Not that, sometimes I'm like, okay, I was just being dumb. Sometimes I'm just being dumb, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But often I'm like, no, you could have still explained that better. That wasn't explained well enough, even though someone could justify it later. and explain it to me later. Like, you ever see the movie Primer? Time travel movie. That was very, very low budget. Really clever, really cool concept for time travel. Really innovative. But I didn't like it at all, because once the time travel starts happening, it starts to get really confusing and it's really hard to follow, which I think was intentional. But I went and read the Wikipedia article later, and there's no way any human could have ever figured out that that's what happens in the movie from just watching the movie. And I don't like that. I just don't like that. I feel like you should be able to guide the audience in that. That's why I'm not a big fan of David Lynch or the movie Donnie Darko, for instance, where these things happen that are impossible to discover the meaning of. They're just intentionally weird, I guess. And often I don't even I think it'd be hard for me to be convinced that they even knew what it meant when they were doing it. Sometimes that bothers me. Did you check out the new show Lock and Key? It's based off a comic book about magical keys, and it's a little slow to start, but I really enjoyed it. I watched the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, this sucks. I stopped. No, I watched the first 10 minutes, but then I had to do something else. Like, it wasn't the time to be watching something. But yes, I've heard about it, and I want to keep watching. So I will. Darn it. And been playing some Stardew Valley. That's a good game. That is I like it. It's like a game with no objective and a million objectives at the same time. It's like it's kind of like The Sims, in the sense that it's just like a simulator. Like, there's no real ending to it. It's just ongoing maintenance of a life. But I like it better because it's its own little unique thing. It's like and the graphics are like an old RPG. You walk around, you talk to people in town, you maintain a farm. You can't really lose. It's just pretty low pressure. Are you going to pick up Animal Crossing on the Switch when it comes out? Never played any Animal Crossing. Maybe. I don't currently have the Switch in my possession. I have loaned it to our friends Jake and Eliza a while ago. And they've had it for a long time, as if it is their own. And that's fine. I'm playing Stardew on the computer. But maybe. I don't know if I'm going to stick with Stardew until I'm sick of it, and then I don't want to stack up the video games, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this one, I'm going to do this one, I'm going to do this one, because I know it'll never end. I was majorly addicted to video games when I was little. When I was little, up until probably college. I don't want to be that addicted again. The refrigerator turned off. Here's the thing. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk to you for a short bit more. And then I gotta go do things. Okay. Guys, talk amongst yourselves. In fact, I'm going to give you a topic. Talk about the career of Tom Hanks. Okay. Please, I'll be right back. Oh, hey. Hey, you've got mail. He had a career. Terminal. Terminal is interesting. Big. Big is a perfect movie. Yeah, his career was very career-y, I would say. Big was so awesome too. Just creepy in a way. That's true. It is creepy in a way, in sort of a older woman falling in love with a child sort of way. Pretty successful career, you think? You think he's gonna go places? It's a very Tom Hanksy career for sure. Milwaukee, your time is now. Milwaukee's here. Is there 2 different people from Wisconsin in the comments? Wisconsin for life, right? You've got mail. Actually, is when people name a guilty pleasure movie, that's the one I name. It's like one of the only rom-coms that I will just admit to enjoying. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan in the 90s, like that's the dream. Am I right? It's the dream. Oh, you do have to be here. Your time is now. You have to be here if you're from Wisconsin, which is a little concerning because there's only 13 people watching, and okay, 14 now. And there's more than that in Wisconsin last time I checked. So something's not right here. But you guys just named you named Big and You've Got Mail. And that's it. That's Tom Hanks's career right there. That's it, really. Really. He's been in a lot more movies than that, you guys. What's his best movie, though? What is really his best movie? Big's pretty good, but I don't know. I really liked Captain Phillips. That was really good. I don't know if that's the best one, though. I also like Saving Mr. Banks. He played Walt Disney. That's not my favorite of his, but that's a good one. Money Pit, classic. Oh, yeah, Terminal. Terminal's good. That's China really likes that movie. Terminal. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Last time I watched it felt like a classic 50s movie to me. Like really Spielberg at his most Hollywood, even though he's always Hollywood. Just like the romance with Catherine Zeta-Jones and him, like it just felt really classic Hollywood to me. Anyway, which I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's just how it feels. I think Castaway's good. Here's the thing. I didn't like how Castaway ended. I don't mind how, like, plot-wise, how it wraps up. I just didn't like how they did it. It felt really weird to me. And his monologue at the end, where he's like, I always found it very odd, where they just threw in this monologue about him, his sadness, and being not on the island anymore. It just felt odd to me. But then I saw a little behind the scenes on TV, and they explained that monologue was added after the fact because they put together the movie and the ending felt like it was missing something, so they added in that monologue. And I think without that monologue, it would have felt wrong. It would have felt off, like something was missing. But that monologue made it seem worse to me. Like it's just a very cheesy. Like it just didn't work to me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't have to go back and watch it. Other than that, the movie's great. Castaway is worth watching for sure. But I'm a perfectionist. If you saw the Perfectionist video, Um, Splash, yes. Ron Howard directed. Maybe my second favorite mermaid movie behind Little Mermaid. And all the other mermaid movies, not for me. Can't think of one, but not for me. Philadelphia, I never saw Philadelphia. It's one of the few of his I haven't seen. I'm aware of it, been aware of it for a while. Occasionally a movie crops up and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I haven't seen that. Like, seems like something I should seen. I'm aware of it, been aware of it for a while. Occasionally a movie crops up and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I haven't seen that. Like, seems like something I should. School, UW, Madison, Communication Arts, Radio, Television, Film. And I've seen a lot of movies, but like once in a while, like I haven't seen Philadelphia. What's the matter with me? I've never seen, here's another one. I've never seen Dances with Wolves. What's the matter with me? I've never seen Dances with Wolves. I've never seen, what's it called? I've never seen, you know the one. Scarlet, my dear, frankly, I don't give a damn. The, what's it called? You know what it's called. Gone with the Wind. There you go. Never seen Dances with Wolves, and it's not on purpose. I've just never seen it. I don't know why. Just never had the opportunity. Never seen Philadelphia. Never seen Dances with Wolves. Never seen Gone with the Wind. Wow, your time is now. You are really offended by this. That's good. I like that. It's good to get angry. What else haven't I seen? I bet we can find something you haven't seen. Your time is now. What haven't you seen? I think I've seen good chunks of Dances with Wolves, and I've seen chunks of Gone with the Wind. I've only seen the Oscar clips of Philadelphia. What's another one that everyone's seen that I haven't seen? Those are the big ones. I've never seen Jerry Maguire, but that's not as weird, I don't think. You haven't seen any Harry Potter movies. Have you read any of the books? Not seeing the movies, that's okay. I've seen all of them a couple times. I've never read the books. That's probably even more insane. I've listened to the first book, the Harry Potter book. I plan to read them to Ada or with Ada, and that'll be fun. You haven't seen any Star Wars? What are you talking to me about then? Get out of here. Get out of here. How old are you? You think Forrest Gump's overrated or ever rated? I think I used to like Forrest Gump more than I do now. I think I've seen it recently. I think over time it feels like it becomes more ridiculous. Some movies get better with age. I think Forrest Gump got worse with age. At the time, it was just really quirky and like surprising that a movie like this would exist. Now it just seems kind of hokey. I don't dislike Forrest Gump, but I can see why. I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't defend it. You're 55 and you've never seen any Star Wars? Wow. That must be intentional. I think you should watch the first two, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. They're great. I think those are the ones that I like. I don't like any of the prequels. I like all the new ones. I like all the original trilogy, but I think the first two, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, to me, maybe The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi have more wide appeal. Like I think more people would like them, at least something about them. The Prequels, ugh, you just got to be really hardcore. I feel like you have to be a hardcore Star Wars fan to like the prequels, or maybe have watched them when you were a little kid. Oh, you grew up in communist China. Nope, you didn't. You just don't like sci-fi. I don't even. To me, Star Wars is more fantasy than sci-fi. Anyone who hasn't seen Star Wars should only watch the holiday special. Yeah. No, I've never seen. I've never seen the Star Wars holiday special. That's not impressive. There's got to be some more that I have never seen that's surprising to people. Can't think of one right now. I'll work on it. Anyway, I should probably go now. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Thank you for talking to me about movies and stuff and things. Look out for my perfectionism video. Well, it's already up for early release. Look out for my journaling video. No alcohol video this month. And journaling, no alcohol. There's another one. Oh, nuclear power. Why do people like nuclear power? There was another. Oh, there's a video idea I just came up with today. And what was it? Shoot, what was it? Why do people like. I got to write that down. I got to write these down. Okay. Bye, everybody. Why do people like. I got to think about what that was. I had an idea. I got to write it down. Bye.